the boy who carried dreams in his hands. Arman was only 15 when life tested him in ways most children never know. He lived in a crowded slum where houses were made of tin sheets and the sound of hunger was louder than the laughter of children. His father had left when Arman was very young. His mother stitched clothes for neighbors, but her weak hands could hardly earn enough for 2 meals. Most days, Arman ate once and they gave the others to his mother, whispering, "I'm not hungry, Ma, you eat." But deep inside, he was hungry for food, hungry for love, and most of all, hungry for a different life. One morning, Arman noticed a boy his age carrying colorful balloons through the market. Children gathered around him, begging their parents to buy just one. That night, Arman whispered to his mother, "Ma, if I sell balloons, maybe we can eat more than once a day." His mother looked at him with tired eyes. "My son, your shoulders are too young to carry such burdens." But Arman smiled and said, "Then let me carry dreams instead. They are lighter." The next day, with borrowed coins, he bought a small bundle of balloons. Red, blue, yellow, little circles of hope floating against the dark sky. Standing on roadside, he shouted with a shaky voice, "Balloons, bright balloons." At first, no one came. Some ignored him, some laughed. But one little girl touched her father's hand, and soon Arman's first balloon flew into the sky. He earned his first coin. It shined in his palm like gold. From that day on, the street became his classroom. He learned how to smile even when his feet ached. He learned how to shout louder than the traffic and how to run fast when rain tried to steal his balloons. But selling balloons was not just about money, it was about survival. Each coin went to a race, each rupee to medicine. At night, Arman sat beside his mother, counting coins like they were stars, and whispering dreams under his breath. "One day, I will not just sell balloons, I will rise like them." Still, life was cruel. There were days his balloons tore before selling, days when people pushed him away, days when he returned home empty-handed, his mother hiding her tears behind herself. But Arman never stopped. Even when his stomach growled, even when his legs shook, he stood on the street again the next morning. Arman still went to school whenever he could. He arrived late, his clothes dusty, his notebooks torn. Some children teased him, "Balloon boy, go back to the street." But Arman stayed silent. One teacher, Mr. Rahman, noticed his quiet determination. He asked, "Arman, why do you look so tired in class?" Arman hesitated, then said softly, "Because, sir, before school I sell balloons so my mother can eat." Mr. Arman heart ached. From that day, he gave Arman old pencils, extra books, and sometimes even food. He told him, "I remember knowledge is also a kind of wealth, and no one can steal it from you." Arman carried those words like a secret treasure, but balancing work and study was not easy. Sometimes he fell asleep in class. Sometimes he missed lessons to help his mother. Yet, whenever he opened his books at night, he imagined himself beyond the slum in a world where his name meant something. One afternoon, a man stopped to buy balloons. He looked at Arman's tired but determined eyes. "Boy, why don't you stare instead of standing here?" Arman lowered his head. "Because books are heavier than balloons, sir, and I cannot carry both." The man smiled sadly. The next week, he returned with old books and notebooks. "Take these, Arman. Carry them too. They are heavy today, but one day they will lift you higher than any balloon." Those words struck Arman like lightning. He began studying at night under the dim glow of a street lamp. He read while others slept, and when sleep tried to pull him down, he looked at his balloons and whispered, "Fly higher, Arman, don't stop here." When the time came for final school exams, Arman studied with everything he had. Sometimes his hands smiled of rubber from balloons, but his mind was filled with maths formulas and history dates. He prayed not for marks, but for a chance. When the results came, his name was among the highest in the district. People were shocked. How could a balloon seller beat our children? That result gave him a scholarship for college. But the scholarship was not enough. College meant travel, books, food, things he could not afford. So Arman worked harder than ever. Morning, selling balloons. Afternoon, studying in college. Evening, part-time jobs at a shop. Night, revising lessons under the street lamp. Some nights he was so tired he fell asleep on his books. But every morning he stood up again. Years later, Arman's name appeared in a newspaper. The balloon seller had become an engineer. The boy who once shouted on the streets now stood tall in an office, designing bridges, not just balloons. When he bought his mother a small house, she cried the way only mothers cry, tears of pain turning into tears of pride. Standing at the window, Arman held a balloon in his hand. He let it go, watched it rise into the endless sky, and whispered softly, "I carried balloons once to live, but today they carried me to my dreams."